Welcome back.
Welcome back to town, everybody. Long
Got
time
the
no
horses
see.
in the back.
Horses in the back, in the motel in the front.
Please pay up. Welcome back. This is going to be episode 2, even though it is not the second episode
No,
we
we've
filmed.
recorded like 7 of these, I feel like.
4, but that's okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound the way it did.
We've done so many of
Oh my
these.
god, we've been doing this forever.
Alright,
This is just one long recording session that we've cut down into multiple episodes.
there you go.
That's a good idea.
That's what happened.
Let's do that this time. Let's just talk for like 17 hours. No.
Oh, wow,
never
that's
mind.
a long
I'm
time.
sorry for even suggesting that. She's the one that does most of the editing, so I basically just gave her a death sentence.
Yeah. Wait, I was going to say that I stuttered and I was like,
yep, that's about it. Walk that.
Like,
I'm
this
never
is your
gonna-
punishment for not editing fast enough. You have 17
edit
hours.
faster. What
And then that
is
upload time is way
the
worse.
topic for today?
Oh yeah, mushrooms. Your first time. That
My first time
we
doing
ended
mushrooms.
we ended the last podcast saying, "Oh hey, stay tuned for this story." So if we didn't say it, would probably be just like a jerk. That would be so mean.
Yeah.
It's the best story in the
Stay
world.
tuned for this very well, it's not the best story in the world. Don't overhype it
no,
like
it's-
a lame story.
It's pretty good though. To me, it's funny.
alright. It is pretty funny. It's funny because like it's easy to picture, I guess, but
Like glug 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 picture.
what would that be the picture though?
No, because you said picture instead of picture.
It's easy to picture.
You were like, it's easy to picture. I'm like,
It's
just
easy
like,
to picture.
it's easy to ladle this full of this.
Easy to picture this story in your head.
I should also mention I've peed myself twice before we start.
Wait, no,
Was it twice? How do you?
aneurysm.
Did you say innards?
No, I said aneurysm,
Oh.
you psychopath.
She's like innards. I want
Did you just
some.
say innards? Can I see?
Anyway, I peed
Is that your
myself.
response?
Oh my lord.
What were we just talking about? Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Your first time. You got the floor.
Oh god, okay, that's a lot of pressure.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
No, put me in the corner, please. That sounded sexual. It's not. I just don't like all of this pressure.
Oh, well, this is a story, Sam.
This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
So take a
I
minute to
did
sit
mushrooms
right there.
at a children's party.
Alright.
That's about the gist of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had this little tiny bag. It was like a little, just like a miniature Ziploc bag full of ground up mushrooms. And then my friend had given to me. That was half of like the stock that we had, I guess. And she was gonna eat them. Like I was texting her on my phone, and we timed it so that we were eating them at exactly the same time. Even though we were in separate locations, so that they'd kick in at the same time and last the same amount of time.
Oh, so you could like
We were
share
about the
your
same height, same weight, so you know it hit us at about the same time. And so it ended up being timed at. She was just at home, but I was at a children's birthday party for this kid who was turning
Mormon
like
children's
3
birthday
or
party.
4, yeah, Mormon child's birthday party. And so I said I had to go to the bathroom, and I brought my pizza with me because we were eating pepperoni pizza, and I brought it in there, sprinkled the whole thing on top of the pizza, and then I just scarfed it down, and I felt like I was binge eating or something.
Oh yeah,
so I was
didn't
trying to
someone?
eat it as
Wasn't
fast
someone
as
like
I
looking
could.
for you, and you were
Yeah,
like,
I heard them like looking for me out there, like where's Sam? But they were just talking about this autistic kid apparently, because the whole time that I was there. I'll get into that in a second. But anyways, so I finished the pizza. I go out there like an insane person. I go in the bathroom with the pizza, and I come out without any pizza.
you have to eat this in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I was in there for like 2 minutes probably. And I come out and nothing's happening. And before this, I think I had only done psychedelics like once or something. I don't know. But anyways, it starts to kick in while I'm talking to this lady. Her son is autistic and his name is Sam. She was the one that was calling for me, but she was calling for her son the whole time. She was like, "Where's Sam? Like, where's my kid?" And so I was talking to her while all the kids were running around and screaming, and it was starting to freak me out because they were trailing. Like, they'd run past me, and there was, like, 4 kids when there used to be one all running.
There's just a million kids.
Yeah.
That would freak anybody out.
It was strange, and that's when I knew something was happening. And then I look up at
That's what he was.
Something weird was afoot. I look at this painting on the wall. It's of Jesus. Except he looks exactly like the father of the child whose party I met. Like, his
that's
face.
why, because it probably was painted after.
Yeah, it looked exactly like him, except he's Jesus, and he had these
Like his arms were out, right?
his arms were out, and he had like the holes on his hands, but he had like rags on him, like ripped rags on his arms, and they were moving in the wind. They were moving in the wind, and he was looking down at me with his rags blowing all around.
She's
And smiling. Yeah, it was like his arms were wiggling.
He's like zooming in, like, oh, hello.
And I was looking at that. I looked up, and then like the mother of the autistic child was talking, and I looked back at her. I don't know her name.
The mother
woman.
of
I'll just say the woman. The woman was talking, and I looked back at her, but I'm trying to pay attention, but I can't because Jesus is there, like wobbling
like,
around.
you're like, am I about to go to heaven right now?
Like,
Is he
what's
sucking
going
me
on?
in?
Yeah. And then the strangest thing. Okay, so most of the party I don't really like remember it. It was just so long ago. Not because it was too intense to remember or anything. All I remember really.
Yeah,
is,
what's some context? How old were you?
15, I think. 16. I think I was 15. I don't know. It was in the summer of like 2 years ago. So yeah, I was 15. And we probably shouldn't be saying how old we are.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
no, you say this.
Like a druggie.
Okay, anyway.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, I was on a trampoline. I was just sitting there because they had this tiny trampoline in their living room. I was sitting on it instead of the couch for some reason. Even though the couch was right next to me. And there's children running around the entire time, just running around and screaming. And this mom comes up and she says to everybody, "Who wants cake?" And then this one kid who was just standing right next to me, like not talking, was just standing there. He screams at the top of his lungs because he's so excited for cake. And I freaked out. I'm like, oh my god, it was so loud. Just like this piercing scream. And then he runs to the
Probably
kitchen.
just like pooped yourself.
Yeah, I was so scared. But then I realized what was happening and I calmed down, but it was so scary. And then as I'm leaving the party, after everything's calmed down a bit and like most of the kids are gone, this one lady, it's the same woman that I was talking to all night, she looks at me as we're walking out the door. She stops and she turns around and she goes, "Good luck." And then she keeps walking. I think she knew what was going on. So it was acting weird.
Yeah, I mean,
I was
I'm
just looking at things all strange.
I am. So my a friend, an old friend of mine, he was
Friend of a friend from a long time ago.
he called me a little while ago, not like today, like a week or so more. I don't know, a while, like a month or something ago.
A week or a month or I don't know. The days blend in.
Exactly.
We have depression.
But he was telling me about, he took 8 tabs of acid. Okay, like put 8 full tabs of acid on his tongue.
Oh God.
I don't know what's wrong with him, but he did that. Well, I mean, he said he could handle it.
Some
no
people
one
can.
I mean,
not like handle it, but I mean, like, they don't completely lose their
I need
mind.
10 tabs of acid to go to work every day and get myself out of bed.
Tab a day keeps the doctor away, because I can't find his office. I'm lost in the dimensions of time.
And I'm talking to dolphins. They're everywhere. No.
I've befriended the animal community. We are one society.
He just carries around a snake. He's like, I don't know where this came from. He's
Yeah.
my friend now.
It's like, oh, you got a snake? I found him somewhere last night. I don't know what happened, but I think I was in a swamp.
He was telling
Either
me
that
about.
or it rained.
He was telling me about when he did 8 tabs of acid, and he said that he was outside and he was looking up at the sky. I'm paraphrasing, by the way, obviously, because I don't know exactly what he was thinking, and he wasn't explaining that well.
Was he kind of out of it?
Just a little bit. But he was like, I was looking up at the sky, and it was so beautiful. And he was like, you know when you're in the... He said, you know when you're in the Sistine Chapel? And you see the statues that are, like, blending into the wall, like a lion's head that's just on the wall? He's like, that's what was happening to the sky. There was these faces and lions and things etched and carved into the sky, and the stars were connecting them, and it was beautiful. And he was like, I just
look
stood
like
there
faces
for
and
hours.
things like bark and leaves of trees. Like if you look and you're tripping really hard and you look into the bark, faces will morph into the lines.
Look into the bark, Sam.
Look into the bark. It's calling to you.
It's like what's the tree from Pocahontas.
This is actually a really fitting episode for today because it's Bicycle Day, which is the first day Albert Hoffman synthesized LSD.
Oh,
it's a holiday.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, it's 420.
No, that's tomorrow.
Oh.
There's Bicycle Day and then 420 right after.
Well, this will probably be going up like by the time it's tomorrow. So happy 420.
Do you want to join me on 420? You don't have to smoke or anything, but do you want to witness me being stupid?
Sure, if you want, I guess. Anyway, so...
Oh, yeah, the story.
People on psychedelics are weird. He was telling me, that same person was telling me another story that he was at a concert and he, like, did a lot of drugs. And while he was at the concert...
Sounds about right.
he, like, zoomed out and he was looking over the entire stadium, and then he was the stadium, and then he was the band, and he was everybody, and he was, like, the universe. And
that's
he was
a pretty
like,
common
wow.
feeling. Like, for, like...
It's like, what?
That happens to me all the time.
Imagine going to a psychiatrist and telling them that happens with no drugs. They're like, oh yeah, you're fine, it's completely normal.
Sometimes I just zoom out and become reality.
I just am God, you know?
Sometimes I'm just like,
mood.
Fucking God.
Oh, this is really loud. You're gonna
Oh yeah, I forgot about the styrofoam. I'm sorry, you guys. I've been like
drawing on styrofoam.
Yeah, this whole time. I forgot that's what we got the paper for. I like sketching while we do this. It's like an anxiety thing, I guess.
Like a fidget spinner, but not spinning and
except
not
I've been
really
drawing
fidgeting.
on styrofoam.
What was I gonna say?
This is a terrifying picture I've drawn. Why did I make that? Ew.
Oh, that doesn't look like what you meant it to.
No, I just needed you as a reference. I wasn't drawing you.
Oh.
I just wanted someone going like, I'm watching you with their hands.
Oh,
you know?
well, it looks like the...
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna draw a little snake tongue.
Gross. I,
if you
dang
fucked
it.
Medusa, would that be bestiality?
If you fuck a minotaur, would that be bestiality?
Oh, definitely. He's got a bull head. So, not like, I mean like his actual face.
I'm a 12-year-old boy.
Balls.
I touched a tit last week. No.
I said no 15-year-old boy ever.
Or like a fortune teller, like that Vine where he's like, hey, you're gonna see 7 boobs in your lifetime.
It's easy to see one boob at a time.
Maybe if they belong to you.
Oh, that's true.
You can't just
You'll flash someone at a concert and you
just
cover
go
up
up to
one
someone
nipple.
waiting for the bus and be like, hey, boop, how you doing?
How are ya?
You know those people that like take pictures of people's skirts and stuff?
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
the same thing. It's horrible.
Ugh.
Imagine doing that to someone and then just having them be like, oh, I'm great. I'm great, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. It was all great the whole time.
Are you kidding?
Oh my.
What is wrong with
You take an upskirt and he goes, I'm old Greg.
I'm so confused. I've peed 4 times. I'm spinning everywhere. I just peed myself a little bit again.
It's okay.
I've gone to the bathroom within the last, like, half an hour, like, 4 times, and I'm still going
I need
pee.
to just stop talking.
You just make me
I'm
pee
the
myself.
culprit.
Anyway, what was that?
Oh, Greg. Oh, yeah, I did 4 times, 8 times of acid. Double that.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. There's a show on YouTube or, like, on Comedy Central called This Isn't Happening or This Isn't Really Happening. And it's, like, a comedy show. And I love watching those. But there was this one that this guy did I can't remember his name. Dang it. But he like, they do themes, so, like, the theme for this episode with all the comedians was, get my pencil.
It was, my pants.
It was drugs, and he, he said that he was going to get acid with his high school friends, and they went to a Grateful Dead concert because that's where you could get acid when he was that age. And he said that somehow he had like they bought a whole sheet of acid with like 100. Like, they put their money together and they bought a whole sheet and they were just going to save it and take it over however many months or whatever. Oh, excuse me. And then he said that some, like, hippie came up and was like, we can turn that into 2 in an hour. And, like trying to sell it.
Oh,
and they were like, no, it's all right. And then he was like, and then as he was talking, the guy just put his fingers in his mouth and didn't see what was happening. And he said the look on his friends' faces was like falling backwards off a cliff. And then he must have put, like, a bunch of acid on his tongue.
God, what the
Like,
fuck?
just in his mouth. And
I've heard of people doing that. That's really fucked up. Like, this one guy was sobbing, and this guy poured a vial of acid into his mouth while he was crying.
A vial
on the
of
floor.
acid?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, who does that? That's so fucked up.
That's
terrible.
How much, what do you think the, like...
A whole vial? I don't know.
A
like
vial
100
versus
tabs
tabs?
or something?
Really?
Probably.
Wow. But anyway,
It's like that guy crumpled up that whole sheet and just shoved it
Ugh.
into his mouth.
gross.
Yeah.
He was saying that he did, he did a bunch of acid, or, like, however much acid happened.
Yeah,
And,
that's
like,
a good way to word it.
He doesn't really
I
know.
did however much acid happened.
And he said that he accidentally sucked a string from his jeans into the back of his throat.
Oh, God.
And that he thought he was dying. And he knew he was gonna die soon.
So he, like, accepted that.
Yeah, so he accepted death. He didn't go to the concert. He laid in the back of his trunk and just said, guys, I'm gonna die. And was, like, talking to his friends. And then he was like, so he heard, like, the psst of nitrous somewhere.
Oh,
and then
nice.
everyone went, like, running. And he went and he did nitrous. And he said that he was, like, zooming out, and he was God looking down on himself, and he was like, it's just a string in your throat, man, you'll get over it. And like guiding him, and he says now that any time in his life he has any problem, he's just like, it's just a string in your throat, you'll get through it. And he just, like, coughed up, like, the string, and he said a bunch of, like, goo, and
That would be really intense and fun. Like, it would be horrible at first, but
well,
then
he thought he
after
was
the fact-
dying, he accepted death.
But
That's
that'd be,
funny.
like, such an awesome thing to go through, honestly. Like, being able to accept the fact that you're gonna die and then still having a good trip anyways, because you get over it.
It's crazy. Yeah, that same guy that did 8 times of acid. Hey, if you're watching this, you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who
That
you
sounded
are,
really
guy.
creepy. I was like, you know
We'll
who you
find
are.
you.
You mean like that? He's a good
You
friend
know
of
what
ours.
you did. Oh, God, I messed up her body, too. But I need to stop saying that.
No
I
one
just
can
keep
see what
trying
she's
people,
drawing.
and it's not working out.
But anyway, that same guy, it was a rough time in his presence and in my presence, and in our lives at this point, and we weren't talking to each other, and I was not super happy with him smoking weed all the time when we were friends. And
What is
then,
that?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? You didn't know who it was?
I thought you meant for a second.
Oh no. But so he smoked a lot of weed, and I don't know what else he did, but he said that he thought he had needles in his throat. Like, he thought that he had a bunch of, like, broken glass and needles, like, stuck in his throat, and that he was gonna die and, like, bleed out.
Probably
And
on
he
a
was
lot of
trying to
acid.
make himself throw up, or he was throwing up because he had needles in his throat or something.
Okay. I think he did some today, because it's bicycle day.
He did some Dideg.
No, today.
Oh, I thought you were just like, he did some Dideg. I was like, what is that?
It's a new drug hitting the
DMX,
streets.
no.
Crack.
Meth. Meth.
Heroin.
Anyway.
The holy tree.
By the way, we
Whoa.
don't do hard drugs, guys.
No, I've never done a crack rock in my life.
Crack rock. Imagine if someone had a crack rock collection and then really expensive. Really expensive.
No crackhead has a collection. It's gone.
Wait, but imagine if they just happen to keep their crack on a shelf where they keep their spices, and they're really expensive pink Himalayan salt, and they sprinkle it on their food, but it's accidentally the crack.
Oh my god.
Or dissolve it into their recipes or something, and then they're like, whoa,
it's
there's
salted
something
caramel
wrong
brownies
with this coffee cake.
There's something really good about this coffee cake, you guys.
We talk about crack a lot.
Yeah, we need to stop it, or
Why
people
do
are
we-
just gonna assume we're crackheads.
And we don't even think
I
about
don't
it
have
that
a
much.
desire to do crack.
Yeah, no, I don't even think about it that much, but I
No.
feel every time I play back stuff that we've recorded, we're always just crack, and talking about crackhead Bob.
Kind of like how straight guys, really straight guys, sound gay constantly when they're talking to each other. You'd think that they're gay, but they're completely straight, just because of the way they talk about each other's bodies. I'm gonna shove my fist so far up.
I know what you're talking about. I was just watching a Joe Sinigato podcast. No, it wasn't the one. I was either watching it today or yesterday. It was one of them where they were literally talking about that. Where some guy left a comment, was like, "What, are you guys gonna suck each other's dicks now?" And he called them bags and stuff, and was really intense. And they were like, "We're the straightest people you ever meet, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna be I want to fuck you." Even though you know what I mean? I don't know. It was really funny you brought that up because I just watched a thing where they were talking about that.
Or not ironic, but coincidental.
Ironism.
That's ironies.
You get so annoyed when I say that. I've been saying that for years, and every time you correct me. Oh, a couple years ago, I accidentally said ironism instead of irony, and now for years I've been saying ironism, and she's like, irony. But she
irony.
she hates it. That's funny. Ironism.
Look at this. I drew you, but it was you at first, and now it's someone else entirely. Your nose was you, but now I fucked it up.
Nose.
I said it to someone else.
That was my nose, a hammerhead shark.
No, I was looking at it from an angle when you were
Wait, no.
laughing.
It's a hammerhead
No,
shark.
no,
It's
it's
the
not a
teeth.
hammerhead shark. It's one of those, those lizards that live in the ocean.
An eel?
No, they look like
Isn't
this.
that a sea lizard that you're talking about?
No, they look like this. You know?
A plant?
No, it's like
This is
an
strange.
axolotl. That's what they're called.
Oh, I love axolotls. I know people who have them. They're really cool.
Really? I thought they
Yeah.
only lived in Mexico or something.
No, people have them as pets.
Oh wow.
In fish tanks. They have axolotls.
Well, this axolotl has got a pretty big nose ring.
Deemed after me. You're not deemed. Copied after me.
Inspired
Oh, it does.
by.
It looks just like an axolotl.
I know. How do they have feet? I mean, where are their feet?
How do they have feet?
What do their feet look like? Is what I meant.
It looks like their feet. It looks great.
Thank you.
Good job, honey.
Thanks, Mom.
I
It
packed
kind
an
of
extra
looks like
juice
a
box
dog
in
in
your
the
bag.
back, or maybe an otter. The body of an otter with
In
the head of an
hammerhead
axolotl
shark.
and the antlers of a reindeer. Just the head of a monkey with the antlers of a reindeer and the body. What did they say? Of a porcupine? Was it?
You just paused and looked at me really. What did he say?
In the
No,
office.
he said.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. You know what he said? That guy looked me right in the eyes and he said, these are the words that came out of his mouth.
I was gonna say something.
That piece of shit.
I
I wish I had
love you,
known.
bitch. I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch. That's what I think of.
I'm gonna draw that guy from.
I keep thinking about Norm
Ratatouille.
Macdonald because of
Oh, yeah,
podcast
9/11.
9/11.
That made me think of that too when we were like drugs.
Norm Macdonald's weird, man.
Yeah, that guy's strange. I
When
love
he
him, though.
was younger and on Saturday Night Live, he was so high pitched and different
Really?
and skinny. He looks very different.
He was skinny.
Yeah. Have you never seen, like, early on
I've never seen
McDonald's?
a skinny Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. Normal
McDonald.
McDonald. I wonder how many people called him Normal McDonald when he was a
Hey,
kid.
Normal McDonald. What's up? The not interesting brother of McDonald.
I remember one time, this is super random, and I don't think I've ever thought about this until now. I had a math teacher, right, named Mrs. Gill, okay?
Ew.
Like Fish Gill.
Was she a fish?
No, but she was just like one. She was pretty mean. Anyway, she...
Have you had some run-ins with a fish I should know about, Jolie?
Or no, like the pleased to eat you, no.
Like a shark fish?
Sure. Anyway, she was my math teacher, and some kid, we were somehow, I don't know, someone said the name Norm, and some kid was like, that's the stupidest name I've ever heard, and everyone was laughing. She was like, my son's name is Norm.
Oh my god.
Those are up there, like Norm and Guy.
Okay, Guy's a pretty stupid name. Who would name a kid Guy?
This is my beautiful daughter, woman.
It's like, what do you want to name him? Fucking Guy, I don't care.
Male.
An alcoholic father.
Oh, it's like that vine where it's like, oh, it's so cute, what's her name? She's named after her grandma. What's her name? Grandma. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's that guy that goes, Nicki Minaj.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
that guy, but he's like, she's named after her grandma. What's her name? Grandma?
We have to watch a bunch of Vines after this.
Mm-hmm.
In that show that I was talking about where that one guy's like, you want to see some pussy?
What?
I love that show.
What's that show? What's it called?
Well, it's like any series. I actually don't love that show. I lied. I kind of hate that show. I only like that one episode. The rest of it sucks.
Did you watch Shrill?
No, it's... What's it called? Oh yeah, Love, Death, Robots. I forgot.
Oh.
It's like a
That's not what I
mini-series on
asked.
Netflix.
I said, did you watch
Oh.
Shrill? And you were like, no, it's called Love, Death, Robots.
I thought you were talking about the show. No, I haven't seen that.
I'm just like, no,
It's been
screw
in my
that. This
recommended.
is the one I was... No, it's really funny. Or, not even funny, it's like relatable and also really sad, but it is really funny. Like, it's pretty disturbing and intense.
I like that.
Like, my mom was like, usually I'm the one being like, this is a little bit, like,
Too
I mean,
much.
I don't anymore, but like when I was younger, I used to be like, this is a little bit vulgar. Now she was
you
like...
were my mom. Like, this is too vulgar for you. Like, you say that to your mom.
And then now, when she wanted me to watch this, she was like, it's pretty intense. She was like, there's a lot of sex stuff. She was like, it's pretty vulgar, just so you know, like warning me. And I was like, oh, okay.
I like that, though. That stuff's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty intense first sex scene, like, to start out. But, I mean, it wasn't like bad.
Like, first scene in the show?
I don't remember. I don't remember if, I don't think...
God, this looks like Homer Simpson if he became a
On
regular
crack?
human. And then just did
He looks like he's shivering. He's like,
He's supposed to be really angry, but it didn't work out.
his
He's
eyes
just
are
cold.
like, oh, wait, Homer, have you seen that thing where he's like, kids go outside, he gets ready, and he looks like, he goes, skiddly dee. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'll show you, it's the best thing ever. He's like, kids, he's like looking at a paper, and he gets up, and he's like, skiddly dee. His eyes, and it's super high pitch. I love that so much.
Is that kind of like the Jamaica when she's imitating a Jamaican person? She goes, I like.
It sounds like nothing like a Jamaican person.
Doesn't
It's
even
so
sound
funny.
like an accent. It's
It
just
doesn't
an
sound like
animal.
anything. Just an animal.
Is that racist?
Just an orangutan, no. That was racist on accident, I promise. I meant like, oh no.
I think pointing out the fact that it could be
Oh, no,
racist
that
is
was
more
a bad
racist
idea.
than just leaving it alone.
I didn't mean it like that.
We know what you meant.
Help.
Help me.
You're like, there. Do you want some?
This
There's
is our new
wasabi.
controversy. Oh, this is gonna bite us in the ass if we ever become famous. Like Shane Dawson.
I fucked my cat.
Don't even say that.
No, I
You
didn't.
can't say that.
No, not Shawn Mendes. What's his name?
Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson fucked his cat and then tried
We
to
should
say
not
that
be
he didn't.
trying to emulate Shane Dawson. That's a really bad idea. He's had like 7 controversies in the past month.
No, I don't
watched it.
watch him. Like, I'm serious.
I used to
like,
watch
I
him
don't,
a lot, but
I don't
that was like a
understand.
long time ago.
I see a lot of people wearing his shirts with like the pig
Oh yeah,
that
the
say,
oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I don't really get it though.
I don't know.
You know who I
guess because
hate?
he's fat.
Or I
What?
shouldn't say hate. You know who I have some problems with?
What? Ooh.
Jake Paul. No, which
I
one's?
don't have any opinions towards Jake Paul, honestly.
Is it
He's
Jake?
like a
What's the
dude,
other
bro.
one?
The one with the dead body?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul's kind of a dick. But
And he was like, I
don't care
apologize,
about
it was
you,
the worst
Paul.
thing I ever wanted.
yeah.
And then he, like, went and tased rats.
Oh, they're definitely, like, psychopaths, but I don't
And
care.
then they had Riley Reid on their podcast.
What?
And they were literally talking. I didn't watch very much of it, but they were like, they had Riley Reid on a podcast. And he's like, I feel like I need to say, which you don't, but he said, I feel like I need to say when we contacted Riley about this, she's like, do I need to prep for anal? And I was like, what did she think they were doing?
I mean, she is a porn star.
Well, yeah, but like,
Like, hey, come to my podcast. Like, we want to interview you. Like, wow.
like, do you,
With her experience, that's not really that surprising.
did she, wait,
Like,
what?
when she gets invited to an interview, like,
Oh,
what do you think is
like-
happening, you know? Like, come in for a job interview and whatever. Like, let's see if you'll be a good fit. And, like...
Oh, no. That was great.
That's her own professional experience. So, if someone's like, hey, come on my podcast, should I prep for anal?
Porn stars are weird, man. I mean, like, not, like, bad weird. They're just, like,
They just
mad
have a completely
respect.
different skill set than
Yeah,
us.
mad respect.
They've been through so much.
I mean, it wouldn't even be, like, a fun job at that point.
No, because if it's a job, it's not, you know, enjoyable.
I was going to say if
anymore.
it's a job, it's not fun, but that's exactly
You
what
can't enjoy your job, no matter what it is. Even if you're a freelancer, fuck that. Working on your own dime.
So I made these pants that I'm wearing, and I look like the general. You guys know with the big balloon
go
pants?
to the general and save
Save
some
some
time.
time. Go to the general and
That's
save some
actually not our
time.
sponsor.
With not Shia LaBeouf.
That's not even his...
Oh, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal's in the general.
Oh, yeah. In the car, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, I nurture my skin. Shh, no, tell everyone.
I thought he said don't tell him.
No, he says, I nurture my skin. He goes, shh, no, tell everyone.
Oh.
For Gold Bond. And he's like,
Foot powder spray.
it's the best thing ever. I love the Old Spice commercials too with Terry Crews where he's ba 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 ba. His
Oh,
like
yeah.
pecs are bouncing.
Look at that. If you just put the person's neck in a position where it shouldn't be, then it looks really weird.
I just had the weirdest flashback. It has nothing to do with anything.
What happened?
So, about a year ago, we got a new roof on our house. And there were roofers at my house putting a roof on my house.
Okay.
With a roof? No.
And there were roofers. I don't know if I forgot to mention that.
No,
They
it's
put
all
the
these
roof
guys.
on the house. The roof is the part of the house.
So, there were like 20 guys, like, for multiple days.
20 guys.
Oh, no. Anyway.
Ew. I mean, ow and ew.
Jesus. Cool it down a little bit.
Okay, we need to make this a family-friendly.
No, trust me, I put explicit on the...
Okay.
Anyway, so there's like 20 guys that are putting the roof on my house. And so upstairs in my house, there's like there's a landing at the top of the stairs and a window right above it.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a curtain that covers that window. And it, like, that's how I would see the neighbor's house, as I look out the window, and that's, like, the direction it's facing. But when the roofers were on the roof, I went out to check and see what was going on, see if I'd see anything. I pulled back the curtain, and there was a guy.
There was a guy right there.
Like an inch away. He was like, I scared the shit. And he just stopped what he was doing because he was like standing on a ladder and he was just like right here, like.
I think I would shit myself. Like, what's going
So I
on
was
in
like,
the
"Oh," and
neighborhood
I just
today? And you
dropped
open
it.
your window and there's just some fucking guy right there.
It was like perfect. He was right in the center. It was just his head. He was just like, he was looking at me and I was like, oh, and I just dropped the curtain. It was. Oh, I don't know why I thought about that right now, but it made me laugh really
Just had a
hard.
flashback.
On my deathbed, it's one of the things that flashed before my eyes, me pulling back the curtain.
I'm gonna put his nipples right here.
Oh, okay. Wow, those are close together. That's like my pinky is how close together. I mean, I could do it.
Yeah.
Like,
you squish them together.
Okay,
But no,
anyway.
that's just the natural state of his nipples there. Oh yeah, I think I should
You know what he
explain
looks
that
like?
a little more, because earlier I said something about his neck that sounded very bad, but that's not what I meant. I'm drawing pictures here. I am illustrating images on paper.
you know what it looks like? But I don't know the lyrics, but it's like the da-da-da-da-da-da, the anime song where things go sideways.
Is that the one where it's like kind of 3D animation and like his limbs are getting contorted and he's dancing around in the streets?
No, I'll hold on.
Because I know that one, and it's like
No,
elevator
I saw it
music is playing.
on Markiplier originally, but there's one that's like a dog driving a car. Driving.
What, like the bark, 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 bark.
Oh.
In the plane?
Tokyo Drift. Oh, this isn't the one I was thinking of. Oh, Tokyo Drift. I looked and saw Tokyo and thought anime, and I'm wrong. Very wrong.
I thought Tokyo and anime were just interchangeable.
Automatically connected. But,
I've got the power of God and anime on my side. Ah!
Dog of Wisdom. I love the Dog of
Yeah,
Wisdom.
that's the one I was talking about. Is it that one?
No, wait.
Cold, sinus pressure.
Nope. Not
Yes.
cold and sinus pressure.
I've got all that. Give me the meds, doctor.
Dang it. Dang it. Oh, that's not it either.
Now I'm making this an anime. Giving it some Naruto swirls.
Naruto swirls.
Yeah.
Sweet. Wait, is it? I think this is it, but I gotta speed forward to
This
it.
is the main character. That doesn't make any sense out of context to everyone listening. Like the two people that maybe listen to this. Me and you.
Oh, me and you.
Yeah. But earlier we were talking about how I should make a cartoon. And this is now the main character.
We should make a cartoon.
That would be a lot of fun. But I think I would be really bad at that. I don't know how to animate.
How to animate.
Animate. I don't know how to do that. It would be really fun if I could learn how, though, because I do like drawing
Deja
little
Vu.
characters.
That's what it is. Wait. Deja vu. That's what it is, I think.
What?
Unless I'm wrong, in which case I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but...
Deja vu.
That's the one I was talking about.
How does this remind you of that?
Because he's going sideways, and he's like, oh, and he's
Deja
like...
vu. That's the song they play in your head.
This is not an anime song. Deja vu. Or is it?
It's definitely in a lot of anime.
Okay,
It
anyway.
has to be. If
took
it's
a lot
not,
of
it
effort to
should
find
be.
that, but-
Do you have another chopstick? I like your hair.
No.
Put a chopstick through it. Okay.
You need this one. Yep. That was... I thought you were like stabbed. You were like...
Just jam it into my skull.
You start leaking brains. You're like, thanks.
I
Looks
need
great.
a chopstick now.
Time
Mommy
to end
needs a
this.
chopstick.
Mama needs a drink. No. Ew, I hate the way that sounded.
Mama needs a drink.
Do you ever say something sometimes you're just like, what's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
it's
It
like
sounded
ugh.
gross.
Yeah, I just said that earlier on my podcast, on our podcast. Mommy needs a drink.
Oh, did you write that down?
No,
Oh.
but now I have.
Oh, we're making so much
Oh,
noise
God.
with this.
I'm so sorry.
All these papers for amateurs.
Mommy needs a drink. Oh, that reminds me of something I wrote down recently. Jake said something really funny, and I wrote it down, and I left it out on the table, and my Mormon mother found it, and she was like, what?
What is it?
I wrote, just because you drop a TV on my dick doesn't make me a lesbian.
I don't understand.
The context was he has to get a sex change because his dick's all mangled, so he just gets a vagina instead, and that makes him a transgender woman,
Wait,
and that means he's a lesbian.
What happened to Jake?
We accidentally... No, I mean, we didn't, but in this hypothetical situation...
Oh, this is all hypothetical. I thought he actually had a mangled penis and you never told me.
No. We were saying...
It's
we were, like, pretending
whoa.
to beat him up, and we were, like, using the TV.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, you failed to mention that your boyfriend has to get a sex change.
He's not my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, your
He's
ex-boyfriend.
No.
Oh, he wasn't then
He's
either.
just some guy.
He's just some guy that I used to know.
I
Shouldn't have cheated on me.
No, that was the other one.
Oh, what?
Skylar.
I'm so confused.
I shouldn't be naming names.
Oh.
Can you cut that out?
Oh, dang it.
Shit, I forgot that we can't do that.
No, well,
I've been using fake names this entire time.
I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Deja vu.
I'm gonna drink more soda.
Where are we at? We're at 40 minutes
Oh yeah,
now.
were we gonna say 2 stories this time? Or was that just like each episode is a different story?
I don't know. Do we have another story?
We came up with 2 topics, I thought.
What was the other one?
I don't know. I thought you...
Oh.
That's what I was asking.
Oh, I don't know. My brain.
Sorry. I didn't mean to bring this up.
Silent. Oh my god, your turtle. She just pulled her turtleneck up. She looks like Martha Stewart.
No,
Bake
I look
me
like-
some
I
cookies.
look like that one lady on YouTube with the...
Oh, Amelia Fart.
Yes!
I love
I
her.
pulled my turtleneck up.
Oh, I was gonna say, you look like the Saturday Night Live skit where they're like, I got kind of greedy this year. I asked for some wooden bowls and a funnel. Oh, that'll be great for funneling. Oh, this is Pete Schwetty. He brought his Schwetty balls here today.
What is that?
You don't know what I'm talking about? The Christmas skit on Saturday Night Live. Where the Schwetty balls.
SNL.
But I mean, it's not new. Like, it's old.
Oh wait, is that when he has a product, but and she keeps
Yeah,
calling him
and then
sweaty
he's like,
balls? But
and he's like, also make sure you check out their fragrant salty nuts. I'm gonna get a nutsack for my aunt. She'll love it, or whatever she says.
oh my god,
It's the funniest thing ever.
I'm trying to look exactly like Martha Stewart.
It's working. Wait, I need to take a Snapchat picture of you right now. Hold on. You look
Here's
so
Martha
good.
Stewart.
Wait. I'll tell you when to go.
Wait, I look concerned. I can do a better one. She needs to be confident. Confident Martha Stewart.
Okay, wait. Ready?
I have my own television show and line of scented candles.
Oh my god. Wait.
Kinda look like my
We're
turtleneck up
recording
all
a
the way like that.
podcast right now, just on Snapchat, messing around.
We
Of
should
course we are.
probably cut this off.
Oh my god, no way. That was so good. Oh my god, no way.
Alright, cut this off.
Oh, I keep hitting the mic. I'm so sorry.
This is the worst recording yet. It was so good up until this very moment, and now we're so off track.
It's alright.
We're like just messing around on our phone.
Anyway, let us know. Leave us a comment about what you think. And
Leave us a
if you-
comment on how much you hate us and how much you want us to stop making podcasts forever.
No, I was gonna say your first time doing mushrooms if you've done them,
Oh,
but
I want trauma.
yeah, maybe I'll go with older women.
You should.
No, that's what who said the night of the concert when I was
Really?
gonna kill him.
Whoa, wait, what? What's happening?
Nothing. Yeah.
Explain later, you must. Drama inside drama.
Anyway,
Delete them all.
secrets.
Delete all of them now.
Secrets are no fun
I don't
unless
wanna
you don't tell anyone. What? Who? pointing at each other. We don't know what's
It's
going
like
on.
secret signals. It's like, go get the dog out of the room.
I keep You just keep pointing with your turtleneck. I think she meant my stepdad, but I just like went to point and my elbow like broke.
I pointed like directly over there, and you're like, me?
No, I meant like my person from before.
Because I was like him, and
Yeah,
you're
it was
like, me?
Like my him or your him or that him or
Oh yeah, that could be anybody.
Cut it out.
But really,
No. No.
It's embarrassing.
No, but it's the best thing in the world.
It's not.
Alright.
It is to me, but I thought he was like, oh.
No.
He isn't?
No.
Even.
Not for you, at least. I mean,
Why do I get off the hook with these things? This is not
you guys have
something
no idea what we're talking about. It's all good. Just pretend like that made sense.
You know what's happening. You get it. You get it.
Look into the clock. No, that's not what they say.
What?
Hypnosis.
Look into the clock and watch it go. Watch it fly by while you waste your life
No!
listening to this podcast. Should we end it? It's already at 46.
Yeah, we're gonna end it because I just peed myself more and.
Great note to end on.
Alright, well, stay tuned for the next episode. You can find us at DD-SOOS on everything.
You know how to find us
Facebook.
because you found us. That's why you're listening to this.
No, on like Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah.
Facebook.
We're everywhere.
We're on a platform called Anchor and SoundCloud, soon to be YouTube. You can find us everywhere at DD-SOOS, all
Ooh, should we
capitals.
mention this?
No, not yet. That's for next time. But
Okay.
we've got new exciting things coming, so
Okay.
stay tuned.
Stay tuned, everybody.
Bye. Woo.